after you have to hop off,
Okay.
I will take as best notes I can written down, and then
yeah, and we have yeah, like I had offered, we have the recording and that I can watch later and formulate notes from.
Fair. Okay, we can do that.
So we have that as well. I'm not too worried about it. I just I'll just do that later. I'll need to read it or listen to the recording to stay up to date anyway.
Okay, perfect. No worries, that'll work. All right. Well, with that, we will just go ahead and get started. I don't know if we have everybody on the call, but we do have quite a few folks on today. So just in the interest of time, we'll go ahead and get things kicked off. Welcome to the February DSATS meeting, to all the board and officers that are able to join today. We have quite a few things to touch base on today. So I think if we go ahead and get it kicked off with some of just the general technical section updates, that would be good, so we can get into it. First, we were going to go over a marketing update, just since Riem is going to have to hop off here in a little bit. If you want to take over, Riem.
Yep. Let me do that. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, great. So marketing update. I'm going to go through the events that are coming up and the associated marketing campaign or what have you that I'm doing to support those. And then I'll show you like how I'm managing the content so that you guys can like say, oh, let's add content here and there, but by way of a calendar of like how to organize that. And then I wanted to touch a little bit on a LinkedIn strategy update, just based on what I understand of kind of algorithm changes they've had on LinkedIn, and been nerding out about that kind of stuff. So there's a action for you guys to take to help us with engagement on LinkedIn that I'll touch on, and then anything miscellaneous regarding marketing. Okay, here's a look at the events calendar. So 25th, we'll have our SPE live with Enrique with the Drillbotics team. The next day, Moray had reached out as a favor as far as like marketing. I know this is not a DSATS event, but it's something that I'm helping to market, which is the SPE Gulf Coast section drilling automation technical panel, which is an in-person event that Moray will be on the panel of. So anything that's in these types of topics, it's good for us to be talking about and staying relevant. Obviously, the big event coming up is the symposium, which is the 16th of March. That week is the IADC SPE International Drilling Conference, where we'll have the Drillbotics, and actually it's not a DSATS booth, sorry, I know that. I'll remove that. It's the Drillbotics booth very specifically at the event. That Friday then is the DWIS strategy and user meeting. And then after that, these are just kind of milestones that I've listed as far as the Drillbotics end of competition. These are like milestones for me to remember about things to talk about for DSATS. So that's what those are. Okay.
Hey, just quickly, yeah, Riem, sorry, you know about it. Drillbits did publish our package on the symposium with the graphic you made. They're going to do it again in March. And I haven't had a final confirmation, but JPT will publish a similar package, which I rewrote a bit for them, using your same graphic in JPT in March for the symposium.
Okay. Actually, thank you for saying that, because I have like the image that I was going to show folks, but I forgot like the rest of it. So we did that. That was already in the February. In March, what I was saying to Matt was, hey, there's another opportunity for us to also talk about the DWIS user and strategy meeting. Is that frowned upon to have both of them in there? Something to think about. It's okay. We don't answer it right now, but
yeah, in which one?
The drill bits one.
The drill bits is IADC, so I always use the angle that we are at DSATS IADC Art Symposium, and that's the angle I take it into their people. Of course, there may be a bit of room in the JPT one, which is SPE. So to go to an SPE only thing added into it, I might be able to get that done. When I get the draft, I'll look at that.
Okay, thank you for that because and the reason I had put that out there, I suggested it to Matt that I could chase it down is because I went to the last art meeting and there was a lot of mention of DWIZ during the meeting and the adding terminology to the lexicon and art wanting to get more involved in DWIZ. So that was my angle of, hey, you want to get more involved, here's another meeting you can go to and help us, talk about.
Yeah, that's good to do. And I think at the
Yeah.
ITC art meeting, pursuing a linkage with art is fair game.
Yeah.
So I would
Okay.
definitely pursue that.
Okay.
But publishing something that's not art might be a bit trickier in their
Fair.
drill bits.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. So maybe not DWIZ. Okay. All right. This is a glimpse at our campaign for sponsorship. Just trying to stay relevant and keep this on the top of people's minds. So I'm just going to keep pushing sponsorship, platinum sponsorship very specifically. And that's the only thing I'm mentioning is platinum. I'm not even saying there's like a gold option. Let them figure that out. So that'll be until March 16th. And then I'll kind of switch gears to if there's anything event specific to push, and then that would be a gold sponsor. This is a look at the DSATS and Art Symposium marketing campaign. So it did I didn't put the carousel in here. I forgot to do that. I had a LinkedIn a carousel as well that showed the topics of the of discussion that we'll have in the forum, and not the forum, but the what am I trying to say, John? The panel discussion, not panel discussion, work session.
Symposium.
Yeah,
Well,
but in the
it's
work session
throughout.
part of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Words
So,
are hard
hey,
today.
I've taken your 6 slides and put them in an animated mode in my opening presentation for the panel and also for the work group. So I'm using them again in the symposium itself.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This
Yeah.
These are the 6 topics. So I posted this as a carousel. That's a good idea, John. Actually, something I'm going to start doing more of is making it into a animated like switch over. Anyway, you guys are seeing.
Yeah, they come together very well. The little people connect up rather nicely.
Yeah, that was the idea, John. So
Oh,
you guys
clever.
are like, you guys are actually like witnessing live my journey through marketing. I have zero experience in all this. I am learning Canva, I'm learning LinkedIn, and I am loving it and it's fun. So you guys are seeing this development happen live. So what you also see, so all of these posts then push to here's a register now for the event. This is what John was talking about as far as the header for the Drill Bits newsletter and that kind of thing. So that's what that is. So oops, let me go back. So John, I owe you the title slide for the sponsors. And then I will push in more on the early bird rates, if you will, early registration rates for 19th of February. And then just as we lead up to the event, just some pre-event reminders. This is for DWIZ, not specifically just the meeting. I did want to make sure y'all saw that, there's I would love when there's demo number 4 or anything like that DWIZ is doing, I can do more posts like this of like, hey, watch this demonstration, join this meeting, that kind of thing. This is the first post I did for the this actually strategy and user meeting. Here's the flyer that went with it as well. And here's kind of that other, register now and join the conversation. I owe this slide template to Matt, and then I'm just going to keep doing more LinkedIn posts on this. And I list demonstrations because it's basically like any other events DWIZ is doing. Let me know if I can help with those and, just some moving parts and stuff like that. Here's the content calendar. I'm not going to go through everything here, but just as y'all know, like my focus is like based on what you advised from before, John, my focus is on kind of a Tuesday, Thursday cadence, but like this week has just been swamped. So I'm a bit behind. So I'm going to free for all and just put stuff out there, even if it's not on this very set schedule. But these are my hopes and dreams, and I hope I can execute, but it's a bit demanding. But yet fun. Here's March, obviously a lot of different events happening. So I'm putting on here like the dates of the events, like when something is happening, so I can look back and say, how should I promote it as it comes up. Okay, so switching over to strategy. This is an old slide from a previous previous presentation, where the style was really just getting our new name and style and everything out there. The content was short and choppy, like just enough information, and then we can add more context later. The media was something like kind of catchy, and the comment was where the links were to do your call to action. Based on this new algorithm update, the point, like details here in the comments, is like frowned upon. Anywhere that LinkedIn can sense that you are trying to take people off the platform is even more penalized than it was before. So here is how to handle that. So we want to switch the thought process now to like more deeper engagement. This is the place we want to bring people, meaning LinkedIn is the place where we want to bring people to engage in conversation. Now, before I was thinking of the call to action not as engaging on LinkedIn, but rather, hey, come to our event. So we can do both. And the engaging in the conversation is the deeper way to engage people to come to the event, right? Give them a glimpse of the kind of conversations we're going to have in person at these events. Do that in the comments, right? I'm going to set the table, essentially, is like, this is what the content is like. This is, when I say easily categorical, that's easy. We're in automation, we're in digital, we're anything, drilling life cycle of well, that's easy. LinkedIn knows where to put us. Informative, more information about what we'll be talking about, things like that, and the why. This is setting the table. What does that mean? I'm going to jump down to comments because of that thread, right? The comments this is where we want to engage. So how can the group here help? When I post something, and I'll just let you guys know when I post it and that kind of thing, engage in the comments. Whether you were putting your DSATS hat on or your company that you work for hat or whatever, right? Engage in that conversation. We'll respond to each other. Hopefully we'll get more people to engage in conversation. And the idea is to organically point people to how to register, right? But through this conversation, get them to want to ask you, well, how do I register, right? Type of thing. Now, what is my default way to let people know how to register? I have updated the bio over here. And there, we already have our links, which is where we're going to point, the link here. But I know this is like really small, but it's basically get involved with DSATS, follow DSATS, like follow this page, join DSATS, attend a DSATS event, do, that type of thing. There's like information that's there. And I'll like my comments or in my post will always say details are always in our bio. Details are always in our about section, that type of thing. So that we don't get dinged by LinkedIn for saying like, look at the first comment. That's where the link is. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, total sense.
Okay. And then John, you had brought up using that carousel, that PDF document, and making it animated and that kind of thing. I'm trying to do more of that. Now that is time consuming because it's like thoughtful and, that type of stuff. So I'm going to do as many of those as I can, but I will still have something that just looks visually appealing, even if it's not as in depth there. The thought process here is make things that people want to like stay and watch and or save, like think infographic, think, oh, that's really cool. Let me print that and like keep that or download that or something. So that's what that is. Okay. Any questions on this? Y'all's actions here, look for the post. I will let you know when I post and engage in comments. And in those comments, you can also say, oh, here's the link to register, right? Kind of do that organically. Okay. And then just miscellaneous. I need to post about the Drillbotics, the SPE Live, the lunch panel. I'm working on the retractable banner. Your point was taken, John, not ignoring you on like the usage of the banner. So I am thinking through that. I want to make sure we're spending funds in the right place and not like putting too much time and money towards something that won't be used so often. So your point is very well taken. And then on the website, I'm going to add the administrative documents. It's been on my to-do list. I just have not gotten around to it, but the Constitution, the bylaws, things like that. So anything else that I should be thinking about from a voice of DSATS marketing thing? Any comments, questions, input?
Riam, is there any opportunity to advertise on campuses specifically? like flyers or I know
Mm.
there's like bulletin boards in departments sometimes, handouts, anything like that.
I would love that. When you said flyer, I was like, "Ooh, I'd love to make a flyer." So I'm happy to do that. The practice of getting it out there and going to the campuses, I don't know how much time I have for that. I can email it to somebody else who will do the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think
Yeah.
we could divide and conquer on that. I'm going to A&M in March, and then we'll be in UT. I think in June. So at least I can handle 2 campuses. Just an idea. We lost
I love
402
that.
student members, so that's why I'm kind of like very campus thinking right now.
I love that so much. I'm happy to do anything from the like content or whatever angle and then divide and conquer to get it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would love that. And we can talk about it, right? Like I can post about it and say like here, like that we're going to be on campus or somebody's going to be on campus, this and that, to show that we are getting involved with university. I love that.
Lots of
So
We
many
have a
hands.
few hands up. So I was going to say, Fred, if you want to go first.
One mechanism to reach the campuses may be through the student chapters of SBE. Okay, and second observation is I believe that Drillbotics may have a roll-up poster already, and then you just need to change out the paper, and that's pretty cheap and pretty fast. Like one day.
Drillbotics has a what, Fred? Sorry. And
one of those roll-up posters that you were talking about. They've got
oh yeah.
and you
Yeah,
could
the
just
collapsible posters.
repurpose the paper inside one of those and save you some money.
Can you
and
do
time.
that?
Yeah, that's what you do. We
You
keep
just
using
change out the paper.
You just every year you update the paperwork and take it over to FedEx and they print it and roll it and give it back to you the next day.
Oh,
Okay.
well, shoot the
Smart.
cat. Thanks, Fred. I didn't realize you could do that. I thought they were all like
Oh, you
a
don't have to
single
buy,
piece.
don't have to buy a new one every year. Okay.
Well,
That's
and
all I got.
Thanks,
Drillbox
Fred.
has 2 or 3 of them, right? From one of the pictures I saw, there's a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one that says DSATS on it already.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Enrique's
So that
like,
makes
stop
sense.
giving my stuff away, Fred, is what Enrique said. I'm coming
No.
after you, Enrique.
I didn't know he
I
was
think
on
we
the
got 2
call.
here.
I thought I could sneak this past him.
My notes literally say retractable banners, reuse these. Yay. That's great.
Yeah, but also what you do is you can put them in the symposium before the show starts, and then you just move them from the symposium down to the booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Okay, so
Great.
Enrique, I'm not giving it away. I'm just loaning it.
No worries.
He's just,
I think we have
he's
enough.
he's just kindly pointing me to where I may steal it from you. John.
Let me get
Yeah,
back
just
later.
a quick one. So the JPT technical section articles, I did connect you, Blakely and Riam, with Trent, didn't I? I believe I did.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Yeah, my suggestion is to at least communicate to grab the slot, because he's got 24 technical sections to run at 1 per month. So it's going to take 2 years. And he said to me he would put us up front. So I think the opportunity is there to get it in this year, and it would probably be timely with what you guys derive from the symposium to notice that out. If you let it go, you may end up 2 years out.
Thank you for the reminder. And the timing, like you said, would fall after the symposium.
Oh, yeah. So you can pick one up later this year. He doesn't want it too early because of the advert we're running. So he wants to space it later in the year. And I think if you grab it, I envisage you would have time to convert the output of the symposium into the DSATS plan, sufficient to communicate it in a technical section article.
Perfect. That would be great. We'd have a ton of content after that. Ton of things to talk about. Oh, you're on mute, Blakely.
Sorry, finally got my computer up and running. Not a big comment, but in regard to the university piece, I think this is kind of like a perfect first kind of charge for our university chair once they are confirmed. Is to start
Yes.
coordinating with like the student chapters and figuring out like what's the best way to communicate, right? Because flyers and bulletins were great when we were in school. I don't know if that's still how they communicate things within the department. So that I think is a great point that we can work on as we move into the summer.
Hey,
Go
we
ahead, Robert.
also have Drillbotics team leads and supervisors that we could probably contact. I can give that stuff to Rhea.
Cool.
So that works both for marketing and then for any other outreach.
Yep. Robert's been waiting patiently, but you're on mute, Robert.
Of course I am. Yeah. So yeah, I was just so that you didn't hear me grinding my teeth. Now just following up on Blakely's point there, I think where I was going was a matter of a simple flyer, a simple one-page flyer, sending out to the SPE student sections and the Drillbotics teams for posting on their notice boards. If they post it, great. If they don't, doesn't cost as much. And like Blakely said, our university relations person, that would be a great introduction for them to get that going. So I'm not volunteering to do it, of course, but it should be an easy thing for you to do, Rhian, with your fantastic talents in marketing generation.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. With that, I'm going to have to sign off here in just a second. Blakely, are you good to go?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you, Riam.
Okay. Thanks,
I think that
everybody.
is it.
Appreciate
so
y'all. I'll
basically,
talk to you guys. Yes.
So Rhian, basically your plate's now full, so you can leave, except you know the fine that if you're not here, we're going to assign more tasks.
I was about to say that. I'm very
No.
nervous right now. I'm counting on Blakely. You too, Cody.
I will
run block
make
for
sure
me, please.
to not. The end of the meeting is not going to be like Riam this.
You
Riam
need to run
this.
some
You have
tackle and
enough.
some
We're not
block
going to
here.
do that. We divide and conquer. We don't just pile it all on one.
Thanks, guys. It was good
Bye,
seeing y'all.
Cool.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Riam.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. Sam is not on the call today. I've reached out to him directly. But we'll pause the financial update until later on. We definitely will have one in the March meeting, but maybe we'll send a quick update in between if we feel necessary, because I know there's not much has happened from a financial perspective other than new sponsorships, but there's some other things that we definitely need to discuss that we'll keep on the March agenda.
Yeah, Blakely, I would like to see an update specifically on Drillbotics finances, because I believe there's still an outstanding payment for the video that I'd like to
Yes.
follow up on.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. When we get to kind of nominations and ad hoc, I'll give some updates there as well. In the meantime, we'll let Cody give our membership update, and then we'll go over nominations and ad hoc before we move into subcommittees.
Sounds good. Let me do the little. There we go. You guys can see my screen?
Yes.
So probably the first thing that you'll notice here, compared to last month when we looked at December, January numbers, significantly down and mostly in students. Yes, Blakely? You're
Super quick, just because I think it'll inform this conversation. And Sarah, I believe you're on the call, correct me if I'm wrong. Student memberships are no longer sponsored or free, so that is part of the problem. This isn't a DSATS only problem. This will be an SPE at large for the year 2026 because student memberships are no longer funded. So just I guess,
That will do
information
it.
on why that bullet point is so drastic. It's not like 400 people just said, I hate SPE, I'm not a part of it anymore. It's not free for them anymore as well.
Yeah, that will do it right there. So pretty significant change there overall numbers, but thanks, Blakely. That's good context. So this month.
Question. Can I ask
What was
a
that?
Why is it no longer free?
The company that sponsored all student memberships is no longer doing so.
Okay. I'd hope the board had a little bit more insight than that, but they may not.
Yeah, I'll confirm with Sarah and try to get a little bit more context on what they're trying to do to either rectify or address that moving forward too.
Yeah, can I
need
can
to
I
pay
add
more
something
attention
here?
when
I
I
think
vote next time.
Yeah.
I think that we would be way better off if we added $5 to everyone's registration fee and get students in free. We're short, really short on talent. And that seems like the stupidest idea that I've heard of. I mean, I understand why if somebody was a sponsor and they backed out, that's fine. Everybody's gonna make their decisions, but we need to propose to SPE that they raise the rates and keep students free. That's my opinion.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. From my perspective, I heard that they're no longer sponsoring students, but I've never heard and this is what we're gonna do to respond or how SPE is gonna address that, because this can't be especially considering what we saw at ATCE, right, with how low student and young professional membership is. If
Yeah.
that's not immediately addressed, that's a huge disservice from SPE's part, right? So I like your idea, Paul, that we should either propose or just definitely continue to be a noisy gong in this scenario. Make sure it doesn't
Great.
lose any sort of focus.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cody, go ahead. This kind of spurred a whole new discussion, but
No, it's good. And I completely agree with Paul. Having a little bit more on each of the members to be able to cover the students is very important. So it's not only reflecting, the renewal of the memberships, but that helps a lot, Blakely, because I was wondering if maybe they had a different deadline or something, but that makes a lot more sense. So personally, what I'm gonna do is I'm giving a department talk at A&M in March, and every person that shows up, I'm gonna go around and ask them if they're a member personally and have a link to the SPE website and walk them through how to join DSATS just to make sure they're part of it. So that will be part of my talk, is making sure that every person there, if they are an SPE member, has that box checked. It's not very obvious, how you join the different sections. So that's one of my plans there, and then highlight as well what we do, what we're working on, and why they should join. The importance of professional organizations in terms of networking and exposure to kind of what's going on in the industry. So yeah, that's kind of a personal side. I forgot who brought it up, but getting a hold of the SPE chairs for each of the universities, I think, will be a really good way to engage with the universities and get a call to action, and see what we can do for getting engagement up. So, maybe we won't recoup 10% of the lost student members, but if we can get 10% more engagement, then I still consider that a win, with getting the students active. So I'll keep going and then we can go back to the university visits, but outside of memberships, the LinkedIn page has been growing pretty significantly. So last month we had 41 additions. This month we have almost 600. So the LinkedIn page is growing quite a bit in terms of members. And then Riam sent me some of the statistics on the DSATS website. So the actual visits and sessions has gone up this last month. And then our actual direct traffic, so that's people actually typing in the link or clicking on a link directly to spe-dsats.org, is up. They're both up around 20%. Unique visitors is down 1%. I'm not very surprised by that because of, we had the increase with the event we had at the reception we had at ATCE. So it's nice that we can track this traffic and trends of this traffic over time. Kind of gives us an idea on how the marketing's going and how we're drawing people to the site, and then we'll be able to see over time what is actually making an impact with traffic and what's making an impact with people visiting sites and joining the LinkedIn's and attending events overall too. Yeah, I see a few things popping up. Let's see.
Hey, just one thing, Cody, when you tell them about technical section sign up, remind them that once they're an SPE member, that is in fact free.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
yeah.
a great point, because I think that's probably something people assume right away is that, oh, to join an additional group, I'm gonna have to pay a little extra.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Mm.
So it's pretty interesting for A&M. I gave them a pretty long list of topics that I could cover for talking, from very technical to basically general career advice. And what they chose was the entire well life cycle, but with career advice and networking as part of the talk is what they asked for. So it's things that the committees, the SPE in general, the professional organizations, that is the point of professional organizations and campuses, is exposure to technical topics, but the main thing is the networking piece. So the need and the want is there, but obviously if people have to pay for it as college students, it's a big deal and a big impact. So it's hurting our our overall numbers. But if we can get engagement up, though, I still think that we can consider moving in a positive direction. That's pretty much it, Blakely, on my side of things. Well, I'll follow up with Riem about something like a flyer or something that we can physically bring and leave there. And then I can take on A&M and UT. I don't know if anyone else will be around any other campuses, within the next couple months, but I can take those two.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that would be fantastic. Once our university relations chair starts, I think setting up some sort of schedule for, all of the officers to visit when and where within the first year would be super helpful. I mean, between the group of us, I can guarantee all of us have contacts to most major petroleum and beyond universities. So I think that should be a big effort on just in general. Just as a side note too, while we were talking, I was trying to look on SP's website to see what has actually, like, what the current cost is for students. So it's $15 per year with sponsorship available. But from what I can see, the sponsorship is like your first year's free, and then you pay the $15 after that. So certainly
That's
not
cheap.
as terrible as the, professional membership cost. A lot more consumable for a college student, but still, I mean, I know in my college days, $15 still was I would probably have questioned it, right? So
Yeah, but it just means we need to do a better job showing the value,
exactly.
because that's a lot lower than I thought it would be. I mean, that's a couple of beers and macaroni noodles.
Exactly.
Typical Friday night. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Blakely, on the university relations guy, Fuad's a
Yes.
real good guy, and he's really dynamic. He's really understood students. He's written a paper with me that I'm publishing. I would seriously consider inviting him in right now, even though he's not voted on yet. He'll get the job. Just let him come in now as a member to assist with that and give his input.
Yeah, I think there's once we send out that email, I don't see any issue with at least like letting everybody start to contribute. There's no resistance for me. I don't think there's going to be a big issue with any of them.
I just believe he'll be a good contributor, and he's done a lot of studies on student enrollment globally, and he's
Has he?
really understood it. And
Ooh.
he sees the distinctions, and I think he wants to do something.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that'll be a huge asset for the team for sure.
Yeah, Jennifer introduced me to him, so she was my lead to find him.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. She has some pretty strong connections up there. One of the department head at Montana Tech he worked at School of Mines for a few years before he moved up there.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of nominations, that's pretty timely. I think we'll go over the nominations. I will coordinate with Greg to send out the formal email today. But our nomination committee has come up with some really great and strong nominations for all of the positions. We had a lot of positions up for renewal this year, and or just generally we needed, I think, some different people in some of these positions as well. As you guys know, we made the decision to split the webmaster and administrative chair just because it is a exceptional amount of work, and Riam's doing an incredible job from a marketing and webmaster perspective, and we really want to keep her focus there. And we just want to take away some of the admin work just to free up her plate a little bit and make sure that it's not, her volunteer position is not taking up, too much time every week. So Harry is going to resume that position, or is nominated for that position. I think we all know Harry. He's well connected. He's been a part of Drillbotics. He's also volunteering with the research and development technical section as well. So a good point of contact over there, as well as John. So I'm excited for him to come on the team. I think it'll be great. For the program and engagement chairperson, this is one, the position title actually has changed. It used to just be program chair for the region. Along with everything we've talked about over the last year, we want the regional chair specifically to work on engagement for the areas. And I think that's just been a resounding term within the technical section at large, is we want to drive engagement. We want to improve how people see value in DSATS and SPE, etc. So reframing what their kind of like key tasks are is important. So the first one, the Middle East Program and Engagement Chair, will be Mahmoud Al Husseini. I apologize if I butcher any names. I will improve in the future, I promise. I think you guys have probably already, I would guess if you're on LinkedIn, you've seen some of his posts. He's a drilling engineer for ADNOC. Super sharp guy, has published quite a few papers. I don't know if John, you want to speak to him at all. I know you have a good relationship with him. But
He
obviously
he tells excellent jokes. Really
Yeah.
good jokes. Now he's very dynamic guy. He's a young guy. He's very dynamic, and he's had some great success with drilling performance, and he's been publishing papers. He's very enthusiastic, and he has a hell of a good sense of humor. So he'd be great. He'll be great.
Yeah.
He's done stuff before, I think, in Egypt SPE. So he has a background of previously volunteering.
That's perfect. That's good. Yeah, and I think he has a great network within that geo market as well, which is incredibly important considering how much growth is going on over on that side of the world as well. For the North America program chair, William Fox from Corvo is nominated. He's their kind of he manages all of their drilling applications, has been really well connected in industry and very involved in Corvo's growth over the last few years. Corvo's an interesting company, right? And when it comes to like, holistic well, how do you drill a well? How do you manage that? That's 100% what they do. So, Will, I think, will be a great fit for the position. There's a lot of great resources even within Corvo. I think if anyone's been to a Corvo event, they know how fun and exciting they are. So hopefully he can bring a little bit of that vibe for future events. Latin America, for the program and engagement chairperson, will be Santiago Arubla. He's kind of the head of AI and innovation for Tech Patrol, or Echo Patrol. Sorry, I always get those two flip-flopped. He's got some really great ideas. Definitely young and new to the group, but has a good kind of network down in the area. He will be heavily mentored by Nestor, just in, what does success look like in this position, etc. So excited to bring him on as well. Eric Caillou, we all know and love. He's been exceptionally, instrumental to DWIZ and everything that we've been doing there. He'll take on the Europe program chair. We talked about food a little bit. And John, am I pronouncing that correctly? Can you check me there? How do you? Fouad? Fouad?
Sorry, Fouad Badrucci. You say it like
Fouad,
it is.
there you go. Okay,
Bad-
Fouad Badrucci.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, we talked about him quite a bit, a little bit. And then the last one isn't a new nomination, but is a little bit of a change. Farhan Khan, he's actually, I think, on the call, which is exciting, or at least he was for a little bit. He was on the first half. He was our former Australia program chair. He is the current IADC YP Australasia chair. So we think restructuring it so it's Australasia as well is a good kind of fit. It fits with some of the work he's already doing. And he has a very strong network over there. I think reasons for some of his like on and off involvement was really just like not a lot of direction. And then obviously like being a fully on the other side of the world is just hard to make sure that we stay involved. But definitely somewhere we want to make sure we maintain focus and visibility too. So having him, who already has a strong network, already has a similar kind of position he can leverage some bandwidth for, I think will be good. So from here, we will go through, I'll coordinate with Greg to send that email hopefully today. We're obviously outside of that 45-day window for the symposium. So we will still proceed with presenting the officer nominations at the symposium, but we'll send out a formal vote through Informs about a week and a half later, just to do the final confirmation. John and Greg, is that kosher? I don't know what and Greg, this is maybe more for
Yeah.
you. Is that
Sounds
typically
good.
like a Microsoft Forms, or how does the voting?
We
Greg
have,
sends an email.
yeah, Informs, Informs has a built-in survey tool that I can use. And it basically is just a link. They click on the link and it takes them to that form. It can be multiple choice questions. It can be yes, no questions. It can be a short sentence type question as well.
Okay, that's easy then. Really, we can present all of them and it's a, do you agree, yes or no? If no, what's your concern or your specific complaint kind of deal, or nomination for position. So I'll work with you and we'll coordinate both of those emails.
Yeah, just send me a list of the questions and appropriate answers, and I can plug those in and you can test it first and then make sure it works the way you want it, and then we can go from there.
Awesome.
Yeah, they have the option to nominate an alternative, including themselves. But as I said in an email, nobody's ever done that. Nobody wants to volunteer for these positions.
No.
And then the other thing, we haven't used this voting thing before. So with this voting thing, you may get more response than I said we'd never got before. So that it was just the email reply to the email, yes, no, to the changes in the Constitution. But as I said, we also added the verbiage that a non-reply is a yes vote, because when no one replies, we can at least say, well, we got yeses. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've done with a few of the recent votes we've had to do with the board, is just, if you don't reply by this time, this date, it's a yes, and we move forward.
Yeah.
Robert, did you have something? I saw you popped your camera back on.
No, I'll pop my camera back on just in case I had anything sensible to say. No, I think the important thing, an email asking for responses in terms of if you're voting no, why not, just seems a bit much. Usually a vote is a yes or no. And maybe, like John says, maybe nominating somebody else. But not really a discussion on individual characters. So it's Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
would-
agree with that.
I would leave it very clean with that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so it's like for each candidate, just do a yes or no. If no, why? Or who? If no, who?
No.
No, why?
No, I just do yes or no and let them know if you want to nominate an alternative, put the name in
Great.
this box. Keep them
Yes.
separate. Now just minimize the amount of work you have to do with the response.
Yeah, agreed.
And these
Keep it
people,
as simple as possible.
yeah, you don't want to load yourself up with a ton of alternatives you've got to try and figure out.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
Yeah, so one of the options would be check this box for approving the whole slate.
Yeah.
In other words,
Mm.
yeah, we're good to go, right? You don't have to go check every one of them to John's point.
Yeah,
Fair.
well, like when you vote your shares, boom, one click and you're done. I agree with everything, huh?
Yeah.
Good point, Robert.
Yeah, make it as literally as simple as possible, that it's one yes or no answer and not 7 different clicks.
Yeah, they can do the one click for everybody, or they can do individual ones if they want to.
Mm.
Right? So I mean that's what you get in a general election anyway. So yeah.
Keep it simple. I like it. Okay, from here we'll move into subcommittee updates. I don't see Matt on the call nor Eric, so we will skip the DWIZ update and go straight to the symposium. I know Moray had to drop off. So John, if you want to give any sort of updates. Oh, go ahead.
Likely. I can give an update on the VNV if you want. I'm sorry,
Sure.
I didn't have time to send the slides, but
Yeah, no problem.
but if you have time.
Yeah, let's get through symposium and robotics and then we can do VNV, if that's okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Everything's
There you are.
set. I'm waiting. Sorry, yeah, I'm trying to handle something on from Greg. The symposium is basically set. I'm still waiting for slides from Austin to put into the slide pack. I've got them from the others. The guys look good. They're not necessarily covering all the tasks we gave, but they look like exciting presentations. I've got a set of questions I want to use, but I'm going to share them with a few people to get feedback so that we can tailor them to generating more output from these guys that will be valuable input for the table processes. The budget is looking good. The budget for the Drillbotics booth is looking good. We managed to squeeze it down a bit. Enrique is actually buying the darn furniture, better stuff than Freeman for half the darn price. So a purchase off Amazon saves 50% of the rental fee. And he's bringing his own TV. And then we've got the budget for the students for their mileage and accommodation. And we managed to move that down by staying away from the conference hotel and going to something more reasonable. Yeah, we're compensating them fully at the full government rate for mileage and round trip. Originally, they'd only put in one way. Anyway, so that's looking good. Right now, the budget is showing a net profit of $18,883. The thing we have to do is 1 week before, we have to finalize the numbers for the food part. So we'll do that 1 week before when we see how many people are registered, and Maury and I'll take a shot at what's the right number. He'll want more and I'll want less, so we'll come out with something reasonable. Greg just told me, by the way, Maury requested it from him. He just said that 45 people are registered. And I think at this stage, that's pretty good.
I would say so. We're not at the early bird date yet. And truly, like we've talked about before, I think a lot of conference registration comes in the last probably 2 weeks prior, just because of the state of everything, right? It takes a while to get approved. And I know I'm guilty of it. I don't think I signed up for ATCAE until a couple days before. So it's
yeah, that is correct. So the early bird should trigger a bit more. But then people are going last minute. I think, I'm just guessing, because we're stressing, all of us, and particularly through RIAM, that pre-register to get your table assignment set. is probably helping to drive them to pre-register now. Of course, that's a trick question as well, because the other reason is to avoid people registering on site, because we've only got 30 minutes to hand out the badges. And if everybody's registered and the badges are handed out, things will go smooth. Last couple of years ago, people came and registered on site. And when they do that, they block the whole flow of people. And that was a request from Stacy. So there's a hidden agenda, as well as we want their names so we can process their tables. Maury and I will get the list of people who are registered the week before, the actual list, and then we'll make some way of sorting it to assign them to tables.
John, at the event, do you have a pre-registered table and a unregistered table as they come in the door?
No. So we don't do anything. SPE does it all for us. So you go downstairs to the SPE registration for the conference, and you get your ticket. You'll get your conference ticket if you register for the conference as well, but you get your DSATS ticket and your 2 drink tickets. So they're handing out the drink tickets. Then when you come upstairs to get in the room, we have 2 gatekeepers, and they're contracted staff at a very reasonable price. They worked for SPE before. These 2, probably ladies, I'm not sure, but they will check tickets. They're going to man the gate for us. And the reason we pay for gatekeepers for, I forget, a couple of $100 or something, is that when we volunteered and done it ourselves, we have been insulted. You know, people come up and they start insulting you. And then John McPherson, when he was treasurer, got people to agree that they would accept an invoice for payment. And when he sent the invoice, they told him where to stick it. And we're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, that's surprising and super. I mean, I wouldn't even let them in the door, even if they paid, if they had that kind of, if they were behaving that way. Honestly, it's like,
it was
if we
horrible.
have to pay for a bouncer, we'll pay for a bouncer. That's fine.
Yeah. So if somebody shows up without a ticket, without a badge, then the people will turn them away and they have to go downstairs and register. But if a lot of people are registering, they block the line, and SPE don't want to add staff or start staff earlier. They start at 12:30. There's 30 minutes to get everybody. Picking up badges will work if they're pre-registered. If they're not, and a lot of them start registering there in line, it crams it up.
Okay, good.
In the ISCWA stuff, I've been known, it's usually a day thing rather than an afternoon or a couple of hour thing, right? So a couple of times I've had people come in not signed up, and people pretty much know that if they don't pay early on in the meeting after they come in, I will call them out. I usually have an announcement, first call, those of you who know you haven't paid yet, you'll go over there and see me at lunchtime, whatever else, and afterwards I'll start to call them out by name. But that's me.
I like it. On the microphone, just publicly shaming. It's same as like fire drills offshore, right? If you don't flip your T card, you're gonna get publicly shamed. Oh, good. Okay.
Hey, John, it may come next year. It's too late probably this year, but first drink's free if you pre-register. You build that into the price.
Well, they get 2 tickets in the registration.
No, well, then you just tell them that the first one's free, and the first 2's free if you pre-register.
Otherwise, you don't get the drink tickets if you sign up day of.
Yeah, well, now they're allowing a cash bar. You know, a few years ago, SPE would not allow a cash bar, but now they're allowing a cash bar. So when you've used your tickets, you can buy more. So yeah, that would actually work now, Fred.
Good. Okay, so we're coming up on the end of our time. Enrique, do you want to give a quick update on Drillbotics?
Oh, yeah, sure. Quick updates. I didn't prepare slides, but anyways, we got the finalists selected. I think kudos to everybody that attended the judge call, and thanks Chastity for organizing that, as I was out traveling 2 weeks ago. Anyways, we got 4 teams participating and selected as finalists for the virtual mode, and 5 teams on the physical mode side of the track of the competition. I'll be coordinating with the virtual teams for their interoperability challenge, basically making sure they are compatible with DWIS, or at least the first initial versions of the DWIS protocol. I think that's going to be a highlight on the virtual side of things. And then also, Blakely, kudos to you for securing the February 25th live SPE event. And thank you for having that. We selected three of our finalists to showcase them and do a little quick question and answer session. I'll be the moderator just to maximize the number of students that we're spotlighting. And we selected the Norwegian NTYU, the University of Argentina, and one of the teams from Ghana on the virtual side of things. So those three folks will be on the SPE Live. I'll be coordinating with them next week, hopefully, to get a dry run and finalize the questions. And then lately, then we have a dry run test the following week with SPE, and the live will go on the 25th at 10 a.m., I believe, local time. Yeah, I think that's all on my plate. The other thing is also I'll be finalizing the booking and coordinating with the A&M team for the symposium and for the digital robotics booth. Yeah, early next week.
And so everyone's aware, Enrique and I and the movie people are meeting. When is that meeting, Enrique? March 2nd.
Let's see it. Oh, March. Yeah, first week of March. That's true.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, just at two really quick things. First, this group helped co-sponsor the original IDC code rewrite, Dell code rewrite. It was part of the sponsorship. We are getting very close to getting that published now. It's been in the IDC's hands for a while with a few little minor edits. So that should be coming out here in the next few months. So just for what it's worth. The second thing is we also were sponsoring or just helping getting the open source drilling community started and established. That is now being hosted by Roman Shore at Texas A&M. And I just want to put a call out to everyone that if you are interested in helping develop the open source drilling community, either contact me or contact Roman directly. So that was it.
Okay.
So Paul, glad you brought that up, actually. I was just about to call you anyway later on today. I was lined up for the OSDC mailing list a while back, but I haven't heard anything. Do I need to re-register, or how do I go about reconnecting?
Yes, I don't know why you didn't get anything, but let's do this. Send a note to Roman. Do you have Roman's email? Or you can send it to me and I'll forward it to him.
Yes, he's still at ucalgary.cal. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
he is at A&M.
No. He's gonna do one.
I don't have it then, Paul. I'll
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll be in touch after this meeting then. Okay.
Okay. Very good. All right.
Quick question for Cody. Cody, the ownership of the video, is that defined and clear, or what's the status?
What do you mean the ownership?
Cody and I will
So-
talk about this one offline. I know where you're headed, and that was
Okay.
something, yeah. I owe Cody a call so we can clarify, so we don't run into the same
Okay, I'll leave it with you.
fun. But your mind's in the right place. Okay, we are a few minutes over, so I will let everybody go. I appreciate everybody logging in today and joining the call. I think we had a good conversation. There was a lot to cover today, and I know we didn't really get to everybody. So thank you guys, everybody, for your contributions. If you have anything in particular you want to make sure we discuss in the March meeting, please let me know, just so I can make sure we're planning for it. But other than that, I'm sure we will all be in communicating via email and all the other modes of communication between now and then. Thank you guys all for your time. Oh, go ahead,
Paul,
Robert.
Paul, quickly. What is your current email?
Current email is paul@pastusic.com. So
Got it.
PAUL.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. See you soon.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Everybody, bye.